Hello again, everybody. This is part two of the fantasy draft that I just did, number three. I thought I had recorded this video all at once, but for some reason, YouTube is cutting my videos off at the 8-minute mark, and I really don't know why. So I am quickly going to record this and post it up on my channel so that it's there, so you can have part one and part two available of this draft if you want to watch it. I believe when I stopped my last video, or when YouTube cut me off, it was about the 8-minute mark, and I was talking about LaDainian Tomlinson. So I'm going to start this off right there talking about LT. So I needed a third running back still at this point in the draft, which is kind of worrisome. And there weren't many good running backs left. But LT, being the legend he is, and the very, very skilled pass catcher he is, and my lack of faith in Sean Green as a running back and a pass catcher, I decided to grab this guy. I really think if the Jets want to be a truly competitive team, which I know they do want to be, they're going to need to use LaDainian Tomlinson more often than they're kind of admitting right now. I just don't think Sean Green can handle the workload by himself. He's not talented enough. He doesn't have the hands for it. So I really think that LT is going to not reproduce last year's numbers, but still give me a good pass catching boost and a decent option. I have so much strength, I'm hoping, in my wide receivers that I don't need amazing running backs. And guys like this, pass catchers, they can give me what I need. At this point, I'm drafting for my bench now. I have everything filled with kicker and defense. So here is the guys I drafted for my bench. I have Matt Stafford as a backup QB. He was still available. He's got potential to be an elite QB, if not this year. So I figured he's great bye-week fill or maybe even trade fodder if someone wants to get their hands on him should he explode. I doubt I'll be dropping Philip Rivers for him, but if someone wants to replace their QB with Matt Stafford, I'll gladly let them make an offer should he blow up for a couple weeks. I have a couple backup wide receivers in Dion Branch. He's a veteran. He's playing with Tom Brady, who he has a great chemistry with. He's a crafty route runner. He knows how to get open and make catches no matter what's going on, really. And in PPR leagues, he's definitely a good little backup player. At this point, I started grabbing all the preseason studs. There's no guarantee they'll have big years, but the way they played this preseason, I figured I wanted to scoop them up just in case. I took Antonio Brown from Pittsburgh. I'm sure you've heard of the stuff this kid's done. He had 2 TD week the other last week, a couple big plays. I have Seattle's Mike Williams. Big comeback year for him last year. Looking to see a lot more targets this year. I have Heath Miller as my backup tight end for Daniels and Winton. He's very underrated playing at Pittsburgh. I have Harry Douglas from Atlanta. He's had a pretty beastly preseason if you've been watching it. Same with Victor Cruz, who I also drafted really late. I have Anthony Armstrong, who was a surprise deep threat last year. He was third in the league in yards per catch. So I'm hoping he's a nice surprise for me in Washington. Um, Backup running backs are even weaker, obviously, than my starting running backs. They're actually downright terrible. I have Ontario Hardesty from Cleveland, back up to Peyton Hillis. Leon Washington, back up to Marshawn Lynch in case something happens to him. And my last one is Bernard Scott, back up to Cedric Benson. I heard he got arrested 20 days. Figured I'd grab Bernard Scott. He's got some skills anyways, but I doubt he'll see much time behind Benson unless his jail crap takes him out of the season for a little bit. But I really doubt it. Looks like he's going to have it over with by the time game time starts. So those are my backups. I'll go over them again real quick. Wide receivers are Dion Branch, Antonio Brown, Mike Williams, Harry Douglas, Anthony Armstrong, and Victor Cruz. I have a backup tight end in Heath Miller, a couple backup running backs just in case, just kind of fill a roster. In Ontario Hardesty, Leon Washington, and Bernard Scott. My defense is Arizona. They play Carolina week 1. Loving that. My kicker is New York Giants kicker Lawrence Tynes. He may go, but right now it's pretty high-powered offense. Good team. I think I'll stick with him for a little while. And that is the end of this fantasy draft. This video is basically I only made this video because YouTube cut off my first video, which I thought I'd recorded everything up to this point all at once, but they cut me off at 8 minutes. So guys, if you want to read the article in full, check out the full league settings, read in full, in-depth why I picked each player, what was going on in my head. Go to koopafantasy.wordpress.com. You can, I would love it if you could like this video, or if you went to koopafantasy.com, if you rated any post you read or any video you watch. I really appreciate it. I love the views. I love the feedback. It makes me feel like this isn't a waste of my time. And a couple more things before I go. I have 2 other fantasy drafts posted on my blog and in the videos, so check out those drafts. They're not PPR, so I was a bit more knowledgeable, I guess, at what I was doing. Well, I don't think I did too bad with this PPR. Very weak at running back, like I've talked about earlier. So let me know what you think about this team. Is it crap? I have heard that. Is it really good? I've heard that as well. I've heard that it needs some work. Let me know what you guys think. This has been Koopa Fantasy. I am a fantasy addict because fantasy is an addiction. I will talk to you guys later.